Greetings, everyone. I am back doing another live stream here. Today, I'm going to attempt to draw a supervillain. Hopefully, I should have looked at my audio setup before, but hopefully the video is a little better this time around. I tried to do this once before, and I didn't turn on the lock on the autofocus or whatever, or autofocus was on, so it was focusing on my hand the whole time. So hopefully this will look a little better, but we will see. Anyway, so the way this works is I'm just going to start doing a drawing, a basic drawing, and any input from anyone in the chat would be much appreciated, and we'll try to come up with something together. But what I'm trying to do here today is, like I said, just draw a supervillain. So I'm just starting with a basic gesture first, and we'll see kind of what we come up with. So, I mean, what do you guys like in your supervillain? I mean, he can be a guy in a costume. I guess I sort of, not totally, but I'm sort of established that this is a male supervillain. Okay, cool. Abe's in the chat. Hey, Abe. So I think I'm going to make him, I don't know if he's sort of like a bulky supervillain. I don't know. Could be. So while I'm doing this gesture, this is kind of like a standard pose right now, but we can change things around. For instance, we want to give him like armor, or like a big like cybernetic hand, or you can make him, give him a cape, or more like a Darth Vader type, sort of costume here. But he needs longer legs. I'm going to kind of extend him out a little bit. I think his legs are a little bit shorter than his arms. Of course, maybe he's sort of like a gorilla type guy. I don't know. All right, so I should have thought of some topics, some things to talk about while I'm doing this, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I had a big convention over the weekend. Wasn't like a comic convention or anything. It was for tech monocle. Okay, cool. That's a good idea. I like that. So we're going to give him like a cybernetic type monocle. I'm going to figure out what kind of face to give him, as far as eyes and all that kind of stuff, so we know what kind of monocle to give him. But yeah, so my day job, where I do illustration for, we had a big event where we just launched our new catalog of all our new products and things like that. So it was basically a convention just to, invite all, our what we call our coaches. They're the people that buy our products and sell our products and things like that, which are basically like paper art products, rubber stamps. I design a lot of rubber stamps and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's that type of thing. But it was pretty cool. I got to stay at a pretty cool hotel, and but man, I was kind of wiped out over the weekend. And then after that, my daughter had a dance recital, so I went to that, and then went and saw a concert. So I had a pretty full weekend. All right, so let's see. So if we're going to give him a monocle, that means his face is probably going to be showing. So I got to give him some eyes and stuff. So draw, since this is the eye that's more, in view. We'll put the monocle there, and I'll kind of trick it out in a minute, but I'm trying to think what else I can do. Because I'm going to ink this guy in too as well. So what about weapons? Any suggestions on weapons? It's got to have some weapons. Okay, Adam Lohr's in the chat. Hey, Adam. So we're drawing a supervillain today. I already got a suggestion to give him a tech monocle, so we're going to do that. Besides that, we just sort of got a gesture going on. That's about it. We can give him a cape. We can give him some armor, weapons. If you guys have any ideas on weapons, we can, make him more. We can make him like a monster. We can give him some kind of a uniform. I don't know. You can give him some like powers. Hey Morgan, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in any of the chats in a while. So yeah, so we're drawing a supervillain. So send out suggestions if you guys got suggestions on what you want to see. We already got like a tech monocle, and it's not much yet. I'm just kind of waiting to see where we're going to go with this guy. But we can make him more of an alien. We can change his arms around. We can make him a claw or something. We can give him, like I said, costume, a cape. Give him, whatever you guys think. Maybe some kind of gun that is also sharp like a sword. Okay, or claws or something. Okay, cool. So let's do that. So I'm gonna kind of trick him out here with, he's gonna have sort of a, since we already gave him like a cybernetic monocle thing, or not yet. I mean, it will be there. Just the outlines here. I'm going to give him sort of a, maybe like a big cybernetic style arm. Toxic ooze type gun. I like that too. I don't know if that should be separate. Maybe we'll put that in this hand. We might change his hand around and make him pointing the gun up here. So let's see. All right, so we're going to give him this kind of sort of big giant, metal arm, and then he's going to have like a blaster gun thing here. Let's see. I don't know, with a blade attached to it. So something like, give it kind of a serrated look here. Is that, I don't know if that's dark enough for you guys. I don't want to make it too dark because I want to be able to make some changes if I need to. But, and then I'll do something like that. All right, and then let's make the toxic ooze gun a separate gun. We'll put that in this hand, I think. So it's kind of looking a little like Deadshot, but maybe that's just the monocle thing that we're gonna throw in there. So I'm going to get my position on my hand. So this will be the ooze gun. Let's see. Yeah, if you got a name for him, I didn't think about that with the last one, given it a name. But so what would an ooze gun look like? It would have to maybe have like almost like a, those super soakers. So have some kind of a tank here. And of course with that, we gotta have some like tubes. So maybe he'll have like a backpack or something back here that's attached. And then I'll make it kind of oozing stuff out. Skirmish. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right, let's see. Yeah, I haven't heard it, but that's pretty cool. When I think skirmish, though, I always think maybe like just a little sort of a a minor fight. I don't think, of course, I could be totally wrong as far as the actual meaning of that, but all right. So let's see. So this hand, it's not. This one won't be very functional, but maybe, I don't know. Let's see. All right. We need something more down by the leg. So what can we do here? I'm going to give him start up with some kind of boots or knee pads or something. And again, feel free to throw in some suggestions. And can everyone hear me okay? Because I'm a little further from my mic than I usually am. I wasn't really paying attention when I set all this up. So, all right. So let's go. I'm going to sharpen my pencil real quick. It's getting a little dull. Yeah, it does. It kind of sounds like a '90s character, I remember there was all the different ones, like Onslaught and Armageddon and okay. So should I make him more humid, or did I say humid? I meant human or more alien. Maybe he's got a scar or something. I don't know. And he needs something for his head. I mean, he could be bald, but I feel like we need to give him something else. How about some ammunition? Half mutant, half human. Okay, so he's going to be cybernetic. So in order to make him mutant, how do we show that? Maybe give him. I'm going to give him some pointy ears, and I don't know if you would see. Yeah, so we'll give him some pointy ears and maybe some little little bumps by his head, so he's sort of mutated, and give him. Let's see. So we got that. Got the. Actually, instead of the ear here, I'm going to have most of his ear covered with some kind of cybernetic antenna, at least on this side. So draw that in there. Let's see. Reverse leg design? You mean where it kind of comes back, like those creatures have? I don't know what you call that. I think I know what you're talking about. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to think. I wish I had something like that. I don't know if that's what you mean, but like a claw. I don't know if that's what you mean by reverse leg design. I'm trying to think of animals that have that. I guess, well, almost is that considered a cloven hoof, or is that something else? I don't know. Maybe if he's half and half, then maybe this foot should be normal, and then this one can be that thing. Hey, Mike, how's it going? We are designing a supervillain. So far, and it's kind of light, so I don't know if you guys can see it. We'll ink it up in a bit, but so far what we've got he's sort of a half mutant, half human. He's got some cybernetic stuff. He's got an arm with a blaster and sort of what do you call it? Sort of like a bayonet, but it's more vicious looking, I guess. And then he's going to have an oozing gun that shoots some kind of ooze. Did I say cybernetic eye? He's got cybernetic eye. He's sort of got this cloven hoof things like grasshoppers have in reverse. Well, I don't know if this is close to what you're talking about. I think I'm just going to keep this the way it is. It's sort of like that, I guess, hopefully. So let's see. All right, so we're around the chest area and stuff. We need something there, whether he's got a costume. But I'm going to give him some ammunition here. So he's going to have some, like, I don't know, this big giant shotgun shell thingies here. I'm not crazy about this gun, but it's right now it's nothing set in stone. We're still kind of hashing this thing out. Giant shoulder pads and lots of pouches. I thought it'd be. I was thinking of creating like a parody character, just called the Pouch, and it just guy just with so many pouches, it's just like insane, more insane than you would think. I mean, it did kind of become cliche, but I mean, in some ways it makes sense, because if you're, I mean, if you got all this, you know, if you got all these weapons, you need stuff to carry things, and superhero costumes in general, before that, you didn't have any pockets, so maybe a nice middle ground would be a good thing. So okay, so we got that. So I don't know. He's needing something here. I don't know if I'm just not happy with his. I guess he's all right. His face is all right. Okay, what we got here? Chains, yeah, chains. I don't know if you're just cutting around or if you want me to incorporate chains. All right, so let's start figuring out as far as how this, I'm going to kind of rework this oozing gun. The problem is I don't have enough room up here, so I'll make it more of a sort of a blaster, but we do have sort of this tank here. Can you guys see this all right, or is it still too light? I mean, again, I don't want to make it too dark, but just give him sort of a, I don't know what you call that. I'm not a big gun person, so I guess it's like, I don't know, a shoulder rest or something. But we got to show some of the ooze coming down. Would have been, I probably should have showed him like shooting something, but this is more of a kind of just a static pose. Give him sort of a shoulder pad here. Oops. Of course, every gun needs a handle. All right, what do we got? It's kind of hard to see, yeah. All right, we're just gonna have to wait. I'll start. I just want to get some more details in here, and then I will start kind of going a little darker, and then we can do the inking and everything. So it shows up all right. All right, well, we got conflicting things, but all right, so suggestions, people, come on. Or else I'll just start designing stuff myself. So let's give him sort of a, I'm going to give him kind of a ring thing around his neck, like if he wanted to wear like a space helmet, he could. They could like attach in here. So we'll do that. Of course, that would go like that. That's going to kind of get in the way of some of these, what do you call it, like shotgun shell things, but we'll kind of move them around a little bit. There we go. And then he needs some kind of belt. Give him a little bulky belt here. He almost looks, I don't know, he looks like he could be a good guy almost. So somehow we need to make him look more villainous. The TNT, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles scale model? Is that, let's see. I'm not sure which one. There's so many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys out there. I'm not sure which one you guys are talking about. I'm going to put like multiple bounty scalps. I like that one. I like that idea a lot. All right, here we go. That's cool. I love that idea. That was Morgan's idea. Great suggestion. So some bounty scalps there. Now we could give them, I don't know, need something more in the face. I guess I still need to do more with the cybernetic eye here. A rabbit with fangs. We can give him, I had a fang before. We can still try to make him look a little more, I mean, it doesn't, I guess he doesn't have to be real venomous, villainous looking. I mean, he's, maybe he needs like a Ming the Merciless type mustache, facial hair thing here. I'll do that. He's more like he almost looks more like he's a rogue to me, like a, like a pirate. So maybe he's a space pirate, which would make sense with all these. I mean, he's already got the, sort of the hands and stuff. So if we want to kind of go with that theme, he needs a minion. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to one character. I don't want to be here all night. Maybe if it's like a small little creature, if I can come up with something. So if we can always waver from this, but maybe I'll kind of go down the pirate path, because he does have, he's got the eye patch, or the cybernetic eye. He's got sort of the facial hair here. He's got the robotic, limbs. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Treasure Planet, the John Silver guy. He kind of had an arm sort of similar to this. So bat wings. Okay, let me see. All right, let me ruminate on that one. All right. Trying to figure out if I can put them in and make them look decent, because we don't have a lot of room, so they would definitely have to be folded up. So all right, so we got to do something here. So let's say if we get into the pirate thing, he'll have sort of some looser pants here. And then, of course, we still got his, instead of a peg leg, he's got maybe in his technology, instead of, replacing his leg with a wooden leg, maybe they just graft some other creature's leg on it. That's why he's kind of got this weird hoof thing. And he probably needs some claws. So blades showing here and there. Okay, we could do that. So, all right. Gonna give him a glove here on this hand, so that'll kind of flare out. So maybe, oh, here, I forgot about, we got his tank thing here. The wings were for the minion. Oh, okay, yeah. So I get it. So if he is a pirate, then instead of a parrot, he would have some kind of creature on his shoulder. Do we have room for that? I don't know. So let's see. Some sort of maybe a kind of a bird-like creature with sort of bat wings. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but and what else did we say? Bullet holes or laser flesh burns. Okay, let's see. So let's I'll kind of put some holes here, like he's been kind of shot here, and of course they're going to add some scratches. I do a lot of that later when I'm finishing things up. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of creature I want here. You don't have a whole lot of room to play with, but he should definitely have a tail. So maybe the tail's kind of whipping back here. Give him sort of a like a dragon tail or devil tail, however you want to look at that. Mike says his parrot can be a small old man named Carl. I don't know. I need something with this. I'm not digging the parrot guy right now. I need something. I don't know. I guess I'm not that great at drawing like birds and things, but all right. I'm just kind of moving around all over the place. So he needs more stuff around the body and everything. He's kind of lacking there. So okay. Since he's kind of got a pirate look, we'll give him sort of a sash, and then he's got to have a sort of a buckle, sort of a space, big buckle, space pirate guy. And I don't know, should he have like longer hair or something? It would just kind of be in the back. We did talk about spikes. So where would we put those? Maybe put some on his elbow pads here. And of course, maybe in addition to the blade thing, he's also got a hook. I'm kind of thinking like Trapjaw, which I don't know if you ever looked at Trapjaw. He's definitely modeled after a pirate. So speaking of pirates, let's give him sort of those, I don't know what you call those little cuff things around the, like pirate boots. And I'm going to give him sort of a kind of big metal toed shoe, probably here as well on the heel. All right. So let's give him sort of an emblem here. So we're going to give him a skull. I think. Maybe the skull has the same kind of like spikes that he has. So is that, I don't know if that's printed on a shirt or maybe it's some kind of a, oh, do I like that? It'll do. All right. So his leg here, I think he needs some scales. And then probably another kind of belt thing here. And pirates can never have too many belt buckles, in my opinion. All right, we're getting there. Just gotta. If you guys want to throw in suggestions, I mean, we're getting close to tightening this thing up and then doing the inking. So if you have suggestions, throw them out now. I just got to figure out what I want to do as far as this bird thing. I don't know. Let's see. Thinking about giving him big, giant, alien type eyes. I don't know. I guess he's maybe sort of those bat wing arms. Oh, I'm not really liking this guy, but hey, that's part of it. You know, you do suggestions on the fly. You might not be exactly what you're used to drawing. It's all good practice, really. Maybe he's got like a, I don't know, something on him, like a, I'm gonna give him a little tooth necklace on the bird. I don't know why. I just. All right, what else we got? Looks pretty solid. All right, cool. Okay, we can start. All right, let me sort of figure out some of the details here with this hand. And the gun. All right. Yeah, sorry I'm being silent. I've got to, it's so hard to draw and talk at the same time. I think I did better in my last one, but I was just like, man, I got to get a video up this week. I think I'll just do a live stream. So I threw that out there, and you know, I got to the point where when I do my recorded videos, I feel like I'm comfortable doing them now. So I guess it's just going to take time before, you know, the more of these live stream things I do. And eventually I'll get comfortable with that too. All right. So. Oh, and also, yeah, so and people in the 100s, if you're watching this, you don't know what that is. That is the, basically what everyone that's done the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge, where you spend 100 days, 30 minutes a day for 100 days, that whole group making comics and stuff. So you guys threw out, I think it was Marshall Couture who was asking about sketches for, to add for the, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on the drawing, just for Kickstarter rewards. So yeah, I don't know if I'll do any original ones, but I've got tons of like stuff that would fit that space theme that I've got. So let me know if you guys want me to send some of that stuff your way. And maybe even, you know, this could even maybe be one of them. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with these drawings yet. So, all right, we're getting there. We're tightening it up. His hand is, I don't know, it seems small to me. Let me extend that out. Got sort of a tangent there where that this tube met the glove, so I'm going to extend that out here. Hey, Jesse. Well, the kind of villain we're making is kind of up to all you guys. We're sort of getting close to narrowing down what he is, but we had a lot of suggestions, and we started off with a cybernetic sort of monocle, and then we've got somebody wanted I forget. I know who's in the chat, but I forget who threw out what suggestion. But somebody wanted sort of another, like a mechanical hand or a blaster gun with a bayonet. And so he kind of evolved into what right now is looking like a sort of a space pirate. So now's kind of if you want to speak up, if you want to add something to it that will kind of fit kind of where we're going, throw that out there, because I'm getting close to I'm trying to darken him up a little bit, and then we're going to start inking this guy. So preferably, since we've sort of, the whole idea of this is just to, do something crazy, but we're kind of circling around this pirate theme. So if you have something that might go with that, I don't know. What do you guys think? What else? Yeah, I got spikes here. Somebody did suggest spikes, but where else can I put spikes? Maybe we'll do other ones in the knee pads here, because we got them in the arm pads. What do you call those? Would they be arm pads? I don't know. Elbow pads, whatever. All right. All the spikes. Okay. See, the problem is I'm trying to figure out where kind of else to put them. We could put spikes here on his shoes. We'll do that. Of course, he's got the claws here on his. He's also, instead of a peg leg, he's been grafted this alien foot. Well, he's sort of alien anyway. So he's sort of both of those things. All right. And he's sort of got a pirate thing, or like I need to work on this guy a little bit. This thing on his shoulder. It's his space parrot, I guess. All right, let's sharpen this thing up. Okay, add spikes to the arm cannon. Okay, cool. All right. So we'll put some here, some spikes here, and then we'll just have spikes going in all kinds of different crazy directions, I guess. All right, cool. Yeah, we were talking about, Rob Liefeld earlier, like throwing a bunch of pouches and stuff in there. So, but I think in general, just when you do these sort of things where people throw out suggestions, that's sort of the style it kind of tends to go in, just because I think that's what kind of Liefeld was known for, was just adding everything, more and more stuff. Well, it's that whole image area, kind of the same thing with Spawn. He's not only has a cape, but then he has the spikes, and he's got the chains, and he's got all that stuff. So, I think that tends to happen when you're like just throwing everything but the kitchen sink in. All right. So let me kind of fill in this tail of this creature that's on the shoulder. And we're going to do another tube thing here. Some sort of, maybe his arm is like hydraulic or something. A little tangent there, we'll get rid of that. All right. Earring. Okay, yeah. His ear's kind of hidden. His one ear is covered by this cybernetic thing, but maybe we can give him another piercing. Maybe we'll give him a nose ring. How about that? Because you can't really see. Well, Maybe you can see the other one. We'll do some earrings there too on the side here. Of course, his nose ring is kind of, maybe I need to, well, it's just gonna go over his mouth, so it's gonna kind of get in the way, but that's all right. All right. How about he's got a ponytail? Or we could do like a man bun. Because it's kind of confusing back here, so maybe we'll make it sort of like a, I don't know how that works. Well, it could work. It could work like almost like a samurai. I don't know what you call that thing like the samurais had, that hairstyle. I know there's a term for it. I used to know what it was, but the kind of thing that like Gene Simmons has, you know. But he doesn't really. This guy doesn't really have a lot of hair, so I don't know. Does that look stupid, or you guys is okay with that? I think it needs to come. think it needs to flow back here. I changed my mind. All right. Very 90s. Yeah, like I said, I think all of these things are going to kind of have that 90s look because we're not being subtle, that's for sure. Over here, he's got his scalps. Oh, here, how about give him some on his belt, some studs or something, some, what do you call it? All right. And then, all right. I don't know what I'm doing here with his feet. All right. So what do you think, guys? Think we can start inking this guy? Any last suggestions? Let me know. We're getting close to wanting to ink him. This time I'm not gonna use a brush pen. I just sometimes I can't get that control, so I think I'm gonna use a regular brush. So it might take a little longer, but I think it'll look better. Straps to leg. All right. Yeah, okay, here we go. So we'll do some more straps here. Oh, how about a knife? You know, a knife strapped to his leg. All right, so he's got a knife strapped to his leg, and then we'll do another strap here. So I kind of like doing this just because we can kind of, anytime you can kind of mess around with the material, so you can kind of see where his leg is here, and then the pants will kind of flare out there. It's kind of, actually his legs are kind of skinny, but like a little bit thicker. Okay, let's see. Some kind of pattern on his pants, jaggy stripes or something. Let me see how I can do that. Okay, I know. Okay, I got it. So just, yeah, stripes like pirate, you know, like Mr. Smee type pirate stripes. I like that. That'll work. This is cool, man. I got a lot more people in the chat this time than the first time I did it. I did it last time. I did it like on a Sunday during the day. It's probably the best day. It seems like people are, you know, drawing in the evenings and stuff. So, all right. I think we're about there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I kind of get crazy with all these little details once we start getting into that. All right. All right. Still don't know about this bird guy, but seems like. All right. Okay, let's see. Double check. Okay. All right, so I'm going to close the suggestion. I mean, obviously, you guys keep chatting with me because I don't want to, have it be a one-sided conversation, but I'm going to start inking this guy in. So let's see. I'm getting my Deleter Black. So this is the ink I use. It's a manga ink. I always mention this, but if you're new, it's called Deleter Black, and it's really a nice, smooth ink. And so I just use a little water bottle cap. And it doesn't, the only thing the Deleter doesn't have like a eyedropper, but I bought a bunch of these things here. So I just use that. So we'll drop some of that in there. Okay. And I don't know where my little brush, my little glove, half glove thing is. So I will just have to be careful. Do I want to use a 1 or a 0 brush? I'm going to use a 0. I don't know, I'm just more comfortable using fine brushes. So, yeah, I haven't tried the Deleter White, Adam, but sometimes I use Pro White or just some white gouache, which I didn't bring up here, but I also have this thing here, this Sino pen, which works pretty well. Depends what you're going to do, but I should order some of the Deleter, the white stuff. I'm just trying to load my brush up real quick. And hopefully, the problem is when I do these live streams, I try to go quicker than usual. I just don't want to. I don't want to smudge it. So let's see. And this paper has a little bit of a texture, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the as fine of lines as I'd like. So, but anyway, here we go. All right, time to ink. It's always laying that first brush down. So this is the part I kind of get lost in. So I've got to help me keep the conversation going. So one thing, and I don't know if this is going to raise any eyebrows or people are going to agree with me or disagree with me, but so that movie, The Mummy, came out. I think it came out over the weekend, and it seems like everyone's trying to do these shared universe. I mean, Marvel kind of. I mean, they've been hitting it out of the park with obviously the Marvel characters, and then But the thing is, I think that all these other studios, I think that they're just trying to rush into all this, where Marvel took their time to build these universes. And I did like Wonder Woman. I haven't been crazy about the other DC movies. Well, actually, I can't really say that because the only one I saw was Man of Steel, and I hated that one. So I haven't seen Suicide Squad or Batman versus Superman. But I don't want to talk about that. What I did want to talk about is the Universal Monsters thing that they're trying to do. So way back when they first announced that they were going to do that, I'm like, oh man, this could be so cool if they do it right. And I don't know what Hollywood is thinking. Some of the decisions and things that they make. I mean, so obviously the reason behind wanting to do a Universal Monsters universe was that they had these great classic characters that people know, that are recognizable, they're iconic. So what do? They go against everything that made them iconic. I mean, I would have loved to see, the classic Universal monsters together, kind of like if you ever saw Monster Squad, one of my favorite films, if you ever saw that. they kind of did that. It wasn't really a Universal movie, but they had their take on all those creatures, and it was, you know, and that was sort of more or less a kids movie, but it was so cool, and the way they depicted those characters was really, really good. You know, Stan Winston did the makeup and everything on them, but you know, I don't know. It's just me. If it's the mummy should be in like bandages or rags or something. It should resemble the mummy. And I don't, you know, I don't have any problem with them making the mummy, you know, a woman. That's fine. But give some bandages or something, or just have that you know, kind of lumbering walk. And I don't know, man. It just seemed like they were trying to remake that Brendan Fraser movie instead of going back to the original. So I don't know where it's going to go from here. But it just seems like, man, it would have been cool if they could have done it right. And why? I mean, obviously they knew that they had something with those characters to want to build a universe after them, and they've tried adding these updated spins on all these characters so many times. You know, how many Wolfman movies that they made that just were horrible, and they've tried to do, you know, Frankenstein a number of times and do all this stuff, and it just go back to what made those characters great and make them look. I mean, when you see Captain America, I mean, they're not trying to take away his red, white, and blue and take away his shield and everything that makes him Captain America. I mean, if you're going to try to do what Marvel's doing, take a cue from Marvel. I mean, for the most part, their characters look, you know, similar, at least to how they look in the comics, how people recognize them. So I think they, you know, it's just like, I don't know, man. It just, ever since I saw the trailer, I was like, this does not, yeah, I don't think this appeals to me. So I don't know if anyone's seen it, if you liked it, you know, let me know. But it just seemed like they really hit the mark, especially with the first one, you know, the first one that they're trying to do. I don't know. I do like the idea of Javier Bardem being Frankenstein. I think, again, it all comes down to the makeup and stuff. I think if they, you know, I think you could make a great Frankenstein if they, you know, if they kind of go back to that look. And why not? I mean, they own the rights to the original Frankenstein look, so why not make it look like that? I'm just silent because I'm reading the chat right now. Yeah, no, it as far as I'll read this. I think the big issue is that when studios try to connect different IPs into a connected universe, they forget about instilling the right amount of time and quality into each IP one at a time. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they want that fast money. They don't. I mean, look how long Marvel has been taking to build up their universe. I mean, they're just now getting to what is kind of the culmination of all this stuff. You know, they didn't, you know, with the Infinity Wars and everything. So, and who knows where they're going to go after that? But you know, they took their time, and you know, I don't know, man. And I'm also not sure about why they're doing Bride of Frankenstein before Frankenstein. It seems like in order to have Bride of Frankenstein, you kind of have to have established Frankenstein, but I don't know. Unless, who knows, you know, maybe they're saying Bride of Frankenstein as far as Dr. Frankenstein and not Frankenstein's monster. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't know. It just, so much potential. It almost, and it's like, it seems like that's what people would have wanted, was like those original characters. It's almost like when they made that Gem and the Holograms movie, where you know, no one's going to go see that movie because of Gem unless they're a fan of that. And what do? They make it nothing like the original. So it's like, why even call it that? I don't know. But who knows? I don't make the big money making movies, you know. The people that do, who knows what they're thinking half the time. I mean, it just, to me, this stuff just seems like common sense, a lot of it. All right, so back to this drawing. All right, so we're getting into the cybernetic eyepiece. And again, if you're just joining, it's weird because it's like it seems like there's a lot of people in the chat. The chat's going back and forth, but as far as viewers, it's showing that there's like less people watching that are actually in the chat. So I don't know how that works. You know, maybe people have dropped out. You know, it's getting late. I'm still trying to figure out the best time to do these live streams. So this is sort of this skull type emblem here. I'm kind of moving around all over the place. I was working on this eye and I got sidetracked. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's pretty much like a deathlock eye, I think. But all right. And then it's got, this kind of comes up as sort of an antenna up here of the eye. All right. Start coloring, or not coloring, but inking in his head. I don't think I'm gonna add any gray tones to this like I did the last one. I think this is just gonna be a straight ink, you know, black and white ink. I might add some darks in the background or something, but so I kind of give him a sort of a menacing eyebrow. But again, I think he's more, to me, he looks more like a rogue than like a, I don't know, like a, what's the word I'm searching for? Malevolent, you know, creature. Again, giving sort of that Ming the Merciless facial hair. So I'm looking at the chat. So let's see. Let's see. How long does it take to finish a comic page from start to finish? That's from Charles Tofield. Man, that's kind of hard to say. If I had, you know, I think the average most people, what they say is like maybe a day is a decent time. I think I could probably do it if I had a day straight to work on it. But you know, that's kind of why we were all doing the 100 Days of Ming comic, just so we can you know, put a little bit of time in here and there, and it would add up. But if I had a day, I could probably do it. I think I could do a finished comic book, pencils and inks in a day. But it all depends. You know, some pages are more detailed. And my style is very loose. I mean, if you've seen, you know, samples of my book or anything, it's pretty loose. It's kind of like when you're seeing here. I mean, a lot of people, like, I tend to kind of, I mean, most of this isn't that defined. Like, if I spent a lot of time, it would help with the inking, because if it was real tight, then I could just go over the ink lines. But right now I'm just kind of using the ink lines as sort of a guide. So it doesn't really, I'm not following them exactly. So I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question as far as how long it takes. So let's see. So we got some, how about Superman, who was born in Russia and is not really an alien, but actually a part of Luthor's family. And when World War II comes along, his parents, the Luthors, sent him up in an experimental rocket. That's not a bad idea. And I haven't followed, you know, comics in a while, but I know there was a comic called Red Sun, but I think that was if Superman landed in Russia. I mean, again, I'm so far removed from like mainstream comics nowadays, I don't know, but that's kind of a cool, yeah. I mean, there's so many different spins you can take on some of these characters, but yeah, that's a kind of a cool, I like that idea a lot. All right. So here, these are some of like his ammunition here. Yeah, as far as the, yeah, can you, is that, yeah, that's in screen. So yeah, I don't want too much ink on my brush, and it's kind of hard to control. So I just kind of go over here on this other paper and kind of get some of that ink off there. I don't know if that answers your question. It's kind of hard to, man, this would be ideal if I actually had, if I could get one of my sons over here to read the chat to me while I'm drawing or something, but neither of them are here, so, and I don't know if they'd want to do that. So, but yeah, it's difficult. I do want to answer all your questions, but I might have to go back. I think what I'll do is I will, I didn't do this last time because I didn't have a lot of chat going, but I will paste the chat in the comment section. So anyone that wants to read it can, and I can go back also and look at some of these questions that I've missed, because it's kind of hard to draw and read all the questions too, especially some of the more lengthy ones. But what I ideally want to do is if I can get, like right now I'm just doing it through Google Hangouts, but if I can set it up where I can do it through Open Broadcast, I might be able to have a way where the chat actually appears on the screen. But right now I can't get it to work. I can't get my Open Broadcast to it's telling me that I need some kind of codec or some kind of, I don't know, something like that. And I don't know enough about that stuff. So I gotta get somebody who knows a little more about that to kind of help me figure out how to set that up. You know, because then I'll have a little more, I'll be able to do a few more things to it if I can get it to stream through Open Broadcast software instead of just the quick and dirty Google Hangouts. But that's a good lesson as far as, you know, you don't have to wait till you get everything perfect. You know, if I was like so concerned with all that stuff that I was like, well, yeah, I can't get Open Broadcast to work, so I'll just wait and I won't do these live streams. But, you know, so I just decided just to do it the old-fashioned way, and then eventually it'll get better and better, and that's kind of the way I've sort of done YouTube. I mean, if you go back, maybe you shouldn't, but if you go back to some of my earlier videos, I mean, some of them are just brutal to get through. But I think you get better and better. So, but you can't get better unless you start. So, let's see. Did you make your own intro animations for your video? Yeah, I did, and so I use Flash just because that's really more or less that's the only way I really know how to animate things. I mean, I guess I use the editing software I use is called Power Director, and the reason why I like Power Director is because it's very user friendly. Like I started with Windows Movie Maker, and Power Director is about as user friendly as that program, but it has a lot of features. You can do a lot of stuff to it. So if you're just getting into it, that was the best editing software. But if I worked at it, I could probably do a lot of those transitions just in the editing software. But the intro that I have now, I used in Flash, and I probably shouldn't point this out because you might not notice it. But if you look, it's not really that crisp. So for some reason, when I imported that animation into my editing software from Flash, it's a little fuzzy. I mean, it's not bad, but so I don't know if that's just a thing with Flash, because I did have trouble like exporting it. But yeah, I used to animate in Flash, and really that's the only program I know. I don't even know if Flash is around anymore, because I know they've changed a few things. I think they've got like Adobe Animate or something like that. I haven't tried that either, but it's been a while since I edited that. Like I've got a new series that's going to come out probably, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. It's called what do they call it? Evil Genius Hall of Fame, where it's kind of me going back and doing some fan art, but it's all characters and things that kind of are like either mad scientists or super villains or evil geniuses and things like that. So with that series, I just did a basic intro where I kind of did some special effects like fly-throughs and things like that, just in the Power Director editing software. But I don't know if that answers questions. Oh, that's cool. Hold on. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to read these comments. Let's see, we got, let's see. Yeah, I know there's, as far as, animated intros, I mean, I know there's some stock stuff out there that, and a lot of people use stock. Like I know in my day job, we have a videographer that films all our stuff, and, you can use a lot of that stock stuff. It's probably, a lot of it's probably expensive, but there's probably, I imagine there's free stuff out there for like intros and stuff like that. But sometimes, the thing about intros with YouTube channels, the good thing about it is that you don't have to spend a lot of time, because you don't want your intro to be like super long, because just the attention span for like a YouTube video, it just doesn't, it's not, a big long intro doesn't really work. So, and what I started doing, I don't know if you noticed this, like with my newer videos, I basically come on before the intro and say, this is what this video is going to be, real short, so you know what it's going to be. And then I go into a real, my intro is pretty quick, and then I get down to what the video is about. So I think that kind of helps, because again, you got to let people know right off the bat what this video is about and what they're going to see. And if you start off with that intro before that, you may lose people. I don't know. I think, as much as I'd love to have a real cool intro and actually have like a show, like a YouTube show with an intro, like I love all the old television shows where, like Gilligan's Island, where they set up the whole show in the intro, or like Addams Family, where they would explain what the show was, the concept of the show in the intro. Exactly what it is. They tell you, Brady Bunch, here's the story. They basically lay it out for you in the intro. I love all that stuff. You just don't get that anymore. But I'd love to do like a show, an actual like show with, I always wanted to do like a show with like a YouTube show and have like puppets and do all that kind of stuff. But for one, that would have to be something where, if I ever get to the point where I can kind of do this stuff full time, as far as the videos, I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I can do art full time, but, as far as like get back to doing like my own stuff, if I could do that, then yeah, I'd love to like actually put together a really cool show. But who knows, maybe YouTube's not the right place for that. Although now with the thing they're launching with the YouTube TV, that might be something that might work for that. I don't know. So we're kind of moving around. It's okay to take your time and talk a lot. All right, that's cool. Power Director isn't free, but it's not terribly expensive. I think it's around $75. So, again, it isn't free, but as far as, and that's kind of what I was looking for. I didn't want to spend like hundreds of dollars for editing software, but I figured I'd invest a little money and get, something that, and again, if you know how to edit and something you do, then Power Director might not be the right thing for you. You might want to do like, I don't know what it is, Premiere, After Effects, or one of those type of things. But for me, because I'm not, I need, very user-friendly stuff. So that's why I did some research, and that's why I used Power Director. And there's videos and tutorials online, and it's got some cool stuff. Like you can do like multi-camera stuff. I did one video where I used multi-camera. So I had like 2 or 3 cameras set up, and you can set it, you could switch back and forth, just like if you were shooting a live show, how you go camera 1, camera 2, you can do all that stuff in Power Director, and it's got all kinds of cool features like that. But but it's not overwhelming. I mean, you can do simple stuff like most of what I do, or there's other things too. So, I mean, I kind of like that software. The only thing is they're always like updating it, and they're always wanting me to go to the newest version. Like when I bought whatever version I had when I bought it, like a month after I bought it, they put out a new one, and now every time I log in, they always want me to upgrade it. But you know, I can do pretty much everything I need to do with the version I have now. So used to buy Robotech when you were a kid. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't get as much into Robotech, but there was like Robotech, and then there was also in the 80s there was robotics. I love the robotics. Like I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was almost like a kind of like this. I guess you can compare it to like sort of an erector set, but it was all like it was like a combination of like Legos and erector set, but it was all like you can control it. Had this battery controller, and you hook there's little motors that came with it. And you could, and they were like, you can build these dinosaur things, and they had little action figures that would fit in the cockpit of the dinosaur head, or maybe it wasn't the dinosaur head, maybe it was a space, I forgot, like a space cockpit thing. But anyway, you build these things, and then you plug these. It had this little keyboard with like, I don't know, like 5 little keys up and down, and you can move the motors back and forth, so you can control it. You can make it walk and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So. I know that's not really the same as Robotech, because Robotech is like a huge like lore behind it as far as the anime and everything. But I hear good that I should, if I had time, I'd go back and watch some of the Robotech, animes, because I hear good things about them. And I know I'd like them because I love like, Battle of the Planets, and man, this new Voltron. I haven't watched the 2nd season yet. I haven't got around to it, but I definitely want to watch that. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, and Voltron. Yeah, I'm talking and you guys are saying the same thing I'm saying. Let's see. Yeah, as far as going to conventions to get new books, that's awesome. Yeah, because I just read an article. It was well, it wasn't actually, I didn't read the article, but it was like a blurb on Facebook where it was saying that I guess San Diego Comic-Con is saying that they own the term Comic-Con and that no one else can use it. So I guess Salt City Comic-Con is like going to court with them over it. Because they say, that's what everyone calls them, and they've been calling it that forever. And it's the same thing with, like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the term superhero is jointly owned by Marvel and DC Comics. So technically, you can't really say, I don't know what supervillain is, but superhero is. And I kind of ran into this back when I was doing game design. We had a game called, originally it was called Superhero Conquest, and we had to change it to just Hero Conquest because superhero is a registered trademark. So jointly by Marvel and DC, which baffles me because the fact that those two companies like own something together like that. But yeah, so San Diego says that they own the term Comic-Con and that no one else can use it. And like, I don't know if that goes for like Phoenix Comic-Con, because like Phoenix Comic-Con, and I assume maybe some other ones are like this too, but they don't spell it Comic-Con. It's like there's only one C in it. It's Comic-On, like Comic-On. So I don't know if that changes anything. But and I had a point, and what was my point? Oh, so my point was they're arguing whether they should call it Comic-Con, but then me being sort of cynical, I'm like, well, why are you fighting over calling it Comic-Con when it's getting further away from comics? Why not just call it Celebrity Con or Pop Culture Con, and then you wouldn't have to worry about any kind of lawsuits. Of course, I know they've got their names attached to that, but unfortunately, I just think it's moving further away from comics. So, and some people, that may be what they want. If they want to go see celebrities, then that's the thing for them. But I just think maybe should, call it what it is. If the focus isn't on comics, why bother calling it Comic-Con? So Amaro Midnight, let's see. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Studied acting for 14 years. Let's see. Says it was a waste of time. I don't know. I mean, I have to think that even if you know, and I don't know everything, but since you said it was a waste of time, maybe, you know, you weren't able to make a living at it or whatever. But I have to think that there has to be some useful skills just from learning how to act. Because I know, just like, say if you want to do YouTube videos, I mean, if I had acting experience, then I think I could do a lot better videos. You know, I don't know. Sometimes you take away. There's got even things you're not even thinking of. I would think you would take away things from there. You know, I remember when I was a kid that, you know, probably a lot of people wanted that, but I wanted to be an actor. But there's like no way I could never do that. I'm just like horrible. I would be horrible at it. Hasn't done anything for you but take your money. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, a lot of that stuff is like, I mean, like you hear those commercials like where they're trying to, you know, yeah, we'll make you a star and all that stuff, and join this acting school or like modeling agency, and man, it just comes off as such a, you know, it just sounds very, you know, I don't know, shady to me, a lot of that stuff. Oh, that's cool. Directed a film called Haunted Mansion. Did it have like anything to do with like the Disney one, or I know you said it came out before that horrible Eddie Murphy one. There's another thing that yeah, I don't know. Whatever happened to Eddie Murphy? He used to be so great. Yeah, directing would kind of be cool, but man, it's just like when I look at these blockbusters and things, I'm like just baffled how somebody could actually direct that. And if you stay for the credits and you see how many people are involved, I mean, how do you organize that? It's just insane, you know. But even like a simple like low budget movie, I mean, I don't know. All right, so we got to come up with a name for this guy. I mean, we're not done yet, but we had talked about that before. We didn't come up with a name. The last one I did that was like a mech. So also ideas for different things to draw, like in general, like so the first time we did a mech. This time we're doing a super villain, which kind of ended up being a space pirate. But you know, we can do, you know, draw an alien, which this guy could be an alien too. So I don't know, I'm just thinking of different things we could draw that kind of fit the theme, you know. I don't know if you guys know, but I kind of bill my, you know, before every video, except for this one, I guess, but I'd say I draw robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. So we could do a zombie or something like that. But, you know, something, I tend to draw a lot of sci-fi type stuff and things like that. So something like that fits in the theme. Yeah, Charles, I agree. It's a wonder how these movies get made, but I'm sure, you know, somehow they organize and not only get made, but how fast they get made. I mean, they're just churning these movies out. But like, you know, I know a lot of the movies I've seen, but like Guardians, when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, the latest one, it's just like, how did they make this happen? All this stuff. I mean, just like, it's crazy. But I don't know. That's at least that the fact that I'm so baffled by it means there's still some movie magic left, you know. Not everything's CGI, and you know, it's still good to kind of wonder at what they can do. Bloody beard. Yeah, that's a good one. He's kind of got a pretty thin beard. You know, it actually doesn't have a beard, just a mustache. So I don't know if that will fit this guy or not, unless it's just ironic. like Little John or something. Not the rapper, I'm talking about the from Robin Hood. Right. Of course, we got drawing these spikes. Got a lot of requests to draw spikes, so he's going to have some spikes on his boot here. Right. Oh no, yeah, I got a question if Young and the Dead is complete. Oh no, it's I'm working on the 4th issue right now, and it will probably go 2 issues after that. So no, it's going to be a little while for it's complete, because it takes me so long to do an issue, because I probably should have live streamed a page of the comic, but I'm doing this instead. So, but yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's unfortunately for the people that read it, it's like it's, you know, it's a pet project. It's I love it and everything, but I do other stuff as well. So it just kind of, unfortunately, it just kind of comes out when it comes out. And because I'm an independent creator, it takes a while. But no, it's still, I still have a story to tell. So it's not going to be wrapped up soon. But I did recently wrap up another page. So, and I did film that. So I'll have a video, it might be next week, that kind of give a little bit of an update on the book and everything. But what I like about these, it's weird, because what I like about these, the live chats here, like this live chat, is like I'm getting people in here that I normally don't see in the regular chat, or just like commenting on the video. So that's cool, because it's like, I know, you know, there's a certain amount of people that like subscribe to the channel and watch the videos, but I don't often get a chance to, it just seems like a select few that I actually interact with. So it's cool that I got a different kind of crowd that watches these. And it's, I still don't understand, because like, seriously, it's like right now there's chats going back and forth, and well, I don't know. I know it looks like there's at least four people in the chat, but it says there's 2 people watching, so I don't know how that works. But I'll get a lot of views on the replay and stuff. So I don't know how long people actually will stick with it, because, you know, these go for, you know, hours or whatever. So I think we're going, like, this may go a couple hours. I don't know. I forgot when I started. I probably started when I started around, I can't remember if I started around 8:30 or if it was later than that. I don't know. But now, I'm talking about my time in Arizona. So it's 9:51 at my time. So this one's a little longer than the other one I did, even though I added some shading to the other one, but I'm just taking a little more time because I'm doing it with the brush instead of the brush pen, just because I want some detail and stuff in here. But we're getting to the point where I can start adding some blacks and things, because we've got most of them outlined. Oh, here we got to draw some bubbles, because this is supposed to be his oozing gun. I forget who suggested that. Okay, so Charles, you've been kind of in that whole everything since Big Illustration Party time. So there's only a few. You know, it's funny, because I always mention that, like, people that have sort of been in that community from way back, and it seems like there's only a few people out there, but it's always good to hear people that remember, like, that show, like Big Illustrated Party Time and Art and Story and all that stuff. And it's kind of, you know, it's those things have kind of shot off into other areas, and people are doing different things. But yeah, I imagine a lot of people probably found me through Kevin, just doing the art casters and stuff, and Jeff Lafferty, and so And of course, it's cool that Josh is doing the Artcasters with me, because obviously he was part of Big Illustration Party Time. So it's funny because it's cool because I mean, I knew Kevin, you know, I didn't know him that well back when he was doing, like, he was, you know, Art and Story, where we were kind of, I think it was, what was the Art and Story, the pay version, what was that called? I don't know, but we did like the big, or not the, I mean, the what's it called? The mini comics dump truck that Kevin created. I was involved in that, but I didn't really know Kevin until, you know, probably Jeff Lafferty started doing his Artcast, and then we kind of did our own. And that whole time I didn't really know Josh, and Josh he wasn't really doing anything. I mean, I think he was doing stuff on the side, but he didn't start doing YouTube. But it's kind of cool that, you know, first I got to know Kevin, because I listened to all those Big Illustration Party Times, and then now Josh and I are doing a show, so it's kind of cool how that stuff happens. All right, so I got the outline pretty much. Now it wasn't Art and Story Extreme. I think that was more like their after hour one. They had I forgot what it's called, but they had like a paid version, and I forgot what it was called, but it was like you paid $10 a month, and then there was like extra. It's almost like a Patreon before Patreon, is what it was. I wish I would remember what that was called, but I wonder if those episodes are still on like iTunes. Not the paid ones wouldn't be, but the other ones. Actually, and I think after they wrapped that up, I think they made all those episodes public. But I would think some of that stuff is probably still relevant. You know, I mean, there's so many good topics. You know, I mean, we try to do that stuff on the Artcasters. So I don't know. Hopefully, you're doing an okay job. Waiting to see if Jersey Drones will come to SPX. Yeah, I know. Like, I've never, like, he's kind of on the opposite end of well, where is he, in Michigan or something? I don't know where SPX is, but that's kind of a ways for me. But yeah, I still like, I haven't listened to a lot of Jersey's like podcasts, but I mean, not his, well, I was listening to one he was doing. That one he was doing was like really fun. I don't know if he's still doing it, but it was the Galaxy of Super something. And that was really cool, because that was kind of like a show, like I was talking about early, where they kind of, you know, did little skits and things like that, and then they talked about art. That was really cool. But I knew kind of going in, like when I started listening to it, I was like, I don't think they're going to be able to keep this up, because it just seemed like the production would take a long time to do. But and then every November he does like a thing where he podcasts every day, and I listen to that too. But I guess I need to go listen to some more like Lean Into Arts, because I haven't listened to any in a while. But he's definitely got a lot of stuff to say about making comics, and he's definitely well versed in that as a teacher and everything. All right, so right now I'm just kind of outlining the drawing, just kind of pop it out here, and then I'm going to go in and add some blacks. So hopefully he's a little, here, let me move this over so he's somewhere front and center in the camera. I should wash my brush out, but I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I mean, I think I know. I think I know how to find Jersey's podcast. I mean, I know I'm subscribed to. What is it? What was the one? The daily one. I don't know. I'm subscribed, but he usually only updates in November when he does his podcast thing. But then, if you go to Comics Are Great, I think you can link to all his stuff, all his other podcasts and stuff. So Oh, you're talking about the art. Oh, okay. You're talking about the Art and Story podcast. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago where I went and looked it up, and I think that they were still available. So hopefully they'll stay up there, because it's just a lot of great stuff on there. You know, some of it might be a little outdated, but it's still, you know, as far as the courses that they did, like they did a creating comics course, like from start to finish. I mean, that still, I'm sure, is totally relevant, you know. But man, those guys really had some chemistry and everything. It's a shame, you know, they ended up stopping it, but. All right. I'm just being careful not to smudge this thing as I go over these lines. And the ink dries pretty quick, but there's his little scalps. So I don't know, this could be when they launched the Kickstarter for the 100th anthology. I mean, I could throw this in as like a, you know, as a, what, I'm lost for words. What is it called? The stretch goal, like a stretch goal, like an original sketch. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, it's as far as working on, I know what you're talking about as far as spending time on mini comics, but then kind of having to put it on the back burner. It's comics, man, they're a chore. You know, it is so difficult. So, but you know, we do it because we love it. All right, what do you say we start adding some black and pop this guy out? So I'm gonna lose some of his mustache here, but I'm gonna fill in this thing here black. Right, a little black under there. Of course, the gun's gonna have quite a bit of black on it. I don't know if I want to make the whole thing black, because I like showing these details and things. So maybe I'll add a little more detail here in the gun. I could make maybe I'll make his glove. Let's see. Make his glove black. Let's see, just glance over at the chat. It says I need to put my top video in front of everyone else and make clickbait picture. Yeah, I don't know as far as clickbait. I definitely tried. I definitely want to try to make videos that are more like relevant to people instead of. I mean, this one is pretty much just me drawing, but I want people to. I mean, I want it to be a community, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this. And get taking suggestions and things like that, because I kind of want it to not just be me. I want it to be a community. So and that's why I'm trying to do more videos that, you know, either are tutorials or tips and things like that, because I mean, people are on YouTube because they want to learn things, and some people can learn just by watching somebody draw, but I also want to, you know, because that was my intention. Like I always thought, you know, just making videos of me drawing or whatever, and people are learning from that. But I think I need to make more video that kind of spell everything out, and, you know, here's how you do this or that or whatever, you know. And I like doing those too, because those are the kind of videos I search for, you know, when I try to learn how to do something. First place I go to is YouTube. So, and I don't know what the definition technically of clickbait is, but if it's something that, as long as whatever you're doing, you know, if you're using, I mean, it's just like marketing. When you're trying to get people to click on your video, but as long as you're being honest about it, like if I was saying, you know, if I said, you know, here's tips on how to make $1 million at art, and then, you know, and I don't have any tips on how to do that, which I wouldn't know how to tell people how to do that, because I can't do that myself. But if I was to say something like that, then I think it's clickbait. But if you say, hey, you know, this is what this video is about, this is what I'm going to show you, and you do it, and if you can say it in a way that like captures people's attention, I don't know if I consider that clickbait. But yeah, I am trying to be, you know, I don't know, trying some tactics to kind of get people to click on the video. It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, it's tough. You know, some people can just grow their channel like crazy, and some people it's just like, it's hard, you know. I try to put everything into these videos, and it just grows so slowly, you know. Maybe someday I'll hit on something, but I just have to keep doing it and grow it, you know, day by day, get a couple more subscribers and grow it that way until, you know, we'll see. You know, maybe these live streams might help, because I would imagine YouTube is really trying to push the live stream thing, you know, because they want to compete with like Twitch and all that stuff. So you know, everyone's doing live stream now. So they want to compete with that stuff. Oops, I got a little ink on my finger here. See if I can get that off. Don't smudge. All right. I'm going to need some more ink, I think. So yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that I get more eyes on this stuff through the live stream, and it's, you know, and they're getting a decent amount of views, especially in the replays. You know, I don't know how many people actually sit and watch the whole thing. I really have to look more into analytics, because that's something I don't pay enough attention to, as far as who's watching, when they're dropping off, because that would help me, I think, in building my channels. Because right now, what I'm doing as far as trying to grow is just trying to make the best videos I can, trying to put out on a regular basis, and you know, keywords, descriptions, all the SEO type stuff. So I don't know. But I know, you know, different channels grow at, you know, different rates, you know. Some people blow up, some people it takes a lot longer, and you just can't get too discouraged. You just gotta, you know, the good thing is I like doing these videos, and I smudged it anyway somehow. I might have to, you know, I wanted to get up and wash my hands, but I'm gonna try to power through it. Let's see. Let's see, I'm just trying to read here. Yeah, I getting a little smudge there, so I'm going to try to cover that. I should have had my little, that's the problem when you're doing these, trying to be fast, is that sometimes you smudge stuff. But I mean, I can definitely, it's not a problem, because I can go over it with just some white and cover that. But anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about YouTube and advice. Okay, so advice to get your artwork out there. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say, because that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to do the same thing you are. You know, everyone's at different levels, but I'm, I'm really nowhere near the level I want to be. But you know, it's social media. I mean, that's the first step. I mean, I don't know if you make YouTube videos now, but that's something. I mean, and get involved in like what you're doing right now, just the art community, and 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 then I don't know, you know, it's you start to know people and people get to know you, because a lot of it really is, like you said, like they always say, it's kind of who you know. So if you know a bunch of other artists, and you know, that's something. As far as getting your work out there, you can try, if you're looking for, like, I don't know if you're looking for like freelance work and stuff. I mean, I don't know, postcards might still work. I would imagine they would, because less, you know, not as many people are doing that. But I think, you know, make great art and just put it out there. You know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, live stream. You could try Twitch, or you can. I mean, there's all these live stream, you know, platforms now. There's, like, I'm trying to figure out. I'm just going with YouTube because that's kind of my favorite platform. But I was going to do a Facebook live stream the other day, and something came up. But you know, it's just, I don't know how much you show your work, but you know, that's the key, is just let people, you know, put the work out there. All right, yeah, I'll check out. When like I said, I'm going to copy the chat, and I will check out your Instagram and everything. But yeah, I do really want to get this, get something, a little better system as far as so everyone can view the chat, if that's a possibility. But I haven't figured out how to do it yet. All right. So. All right. So where else can we add some black? Maybe this knee pad here can be black. So tomorrow midnight, I can write music for your art. You know, honestly, you know, if that may be something I might be in the market for. I don't know. I mean, like, if like even a trade out or something, or if I ever get to the point where I do some kind of a show. I mean, there's been times before that I wanted to have like some kind of theme music, but then I ended up kind of not doing that project, just because, like I said, the whole intro thing on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, and that's another thing as far as putting your work out there. But there's something right there. Just let people know that you do certain things, because I mean, obviously before I didn't know that you made music and everything. So that's one way to do it. And then you know, there's always, you know, because I wouldn't know where to go to for music, really, to be honest. So now I kind of do. So that's one way to, you know, just let people know what you do, you know. Okay, yeah, I will search that too. The artists, Kelly McMorris. I haven't heard of that artist, but I will check that out. All right, so let me keep, I think I'll do this boot black too. This is gonna, I gotta be careful here, because I definitely don't, with these big black areas, I don't want to smudge it, so. And ideally, I probably should have switched to a larger brush for this, but that's all right. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, if I ever enter any kind of agreement with anyone, they would be compensated in some way, shape, or form. Whether that's whether it's a trade, a trade out where say for instance you need a logo or something, you can do music or something along that lines, or just if I can afford to pay for it or whatever. I don't believe in you know you know getting something for nothing, especially from artists, because enough people are out there. Oh, shit. Oh. Sorry about that. I just dropped this this thing on the floor and it landed face down, and somehow it didn't mess up my carpet. I don't know. Small favors. That was crazy. All right. Helping views as far as videos. Yeah, I mean, that is so difficult. I mean, it just takes a while, and it's just like, again, all I can say is like, get involved in different communities. Put your, sometimes if you link stuff in here, it won't work because it just doesn't allow you to do links. But if you can do it without, like, let me know what the name of your YouTube channel is and everything. I'll definitely check it out, because it's like, I don't know how you, like I said, I know there's people that just killing it on YouTube and grow like really quick. And then, I've been doing this for a while, and it seems like it grows so slowly. But if you like doing it, then it's not so much of a chore, and I do like making videos and everything. So I'll keep doing it, and hopefully at some point it'll start to pick up. All right. We are getting close to wrapping this thing up. I wonder if I should, since I already smudged this thing, I think I'm going to go ahead and fill in a little bit, maybe like a Kirby Crackle type design back here to kind of pop this guy out. All right, so when I do this quite a bit, I just like this technique, I'm a big fan of that Kirby Crackle look. This, I know I'm going to need a bigger brush though. All right. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just get lazy, just try to do it without. But let me throw in some stars here. Hey, Mike. Have you been in the chat the whole time, or are you just popping in and out? I know, yeah. That I love that statistic that Jack Kirby didn't do the Fantastic Four until he was 44, and that's good for me because I'm in my 40s. So it's like, and not that I haven't. I mean, I've been able, like I said, I've been able to make a career out of this, but I'm kind of starting over, because before I was doing freelance work for other people, and now I'm trying to, I want to, at least on the side now, I want to do my own thing. I haven't really taken any freelance work in a while, so, but that's good for me to know that, it can still happen when you're basically starting everything over and trying to build a brand, selling your own stuff, whereas before, you were doing other people's stuff. It's good to know that, there's still time. Oh, yeah, I do. Here, I got them right here, the Copics. Let's see if I can put them in. Let's see. So this, I forget which set. There's an A. I think there's an A and a B set. So I don't know the name of the set, but those are the markers that come in it. Can you see that? It's the one thing about, since I locked the focus down, it's focusing on the artwork instead of this. But so yeah, and I got, Copics or Copics or however you would pronounce it. I don't know. They're so expensive, but actually, I got that. We ordered those. I used to work for a game design company, and I asked to get those for concept design, or to do concept designs, and I was really the only one using them. And then eventually the company folded, so they just gave me the marker set, so I didn't have to pay for those. So score, other than the fact that, I lost that job, but it's funny, and I've worked for two or three different game design companies, and they all sort of went under. And usually when they go under, like the computer I'm using now, and I had what else? My monitors, and I have a Cintiq now, but I also have a Wacom, Intuos tablet, the big Pro one, and I got to keep all that when another game company folded. So it just like collects stuff with all these companies that went under. So luckily, the company I'm at now is not doing game design, but it's illustration. We seem to be growing. We keep adding more employees, and it seems to be growing. So hopefully that will, that will be around, so I can pursue this stuff on the side and not have to worry about taking freelance. Because even though I have a full-time job, it's just the fact that I don't have to look for work. I mean, it takes so much time. Doing the work is one thing, but having to drum up the work, it takes a lot of time. So I don't have to worry about that. So even though I'm working full time, sometimes it seems like I have more time to work on my own stuff. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, they have enough of those 50% off coupons at Michael's that, and so the Copic markers aren't exempt from that, because I know certain things are. But yeah, I mean, if you go just one at a time, just buy a marker with a 50% off until you have a pretty decent collection. But I also have these things here. I bought these, and I'll have to do a review on them. But this Ahua, I guess. These are super cheap. They're like 50 cents a marker. I mean, you got to buy a set, but there's for a set of 40, it's like $20, and for a set of 80, it's 40. I got that set of 80, and they don't have the brush tip, but I mean, for what they are, they're pretty decent, and I'll just use them along with my Copic markers and whatever else. But there's a bunch of those brands out there right now that have cheaper versions. They're not quite as good, but at least there's options. Yeah, I haven't tried Dick Blick's line, does Dick Blick, I think theirs has a brush tip, don't they? Because that's the one thing with some of the cheaper ones that you can't find, is the brush tip. Yeah, this is gonna be a long one. I wonder if I should have done this, the crackle here, but I don't know. But he's a space pirate, so we got to draw some space behind him. So are you guys drawing right now while you're watching it? Because that's what I used to do. I always do is anytime I'm drawing, I'm watching videos and stuff. So I don't know if you guys are doing the same thing. I mean, if so, let me know what you guys are working on. All right, let's try not to mess this up. So I may I may go into the, when this thing loads up and everything, I may change it to help me draw a space pirate. That way we can do another supervillain later. They kind of ended up being just a space pirate. Inking Comics, Adam Lohr's Inking Comics, cool. We're just doing a big ink party tonight. Oh, he's there. Yeah, I should have did some more black on this thing. I didn't think about that. Let's see. Single panel stuff. Oh man, I wish I could do. Single panels are hard to do because you gotta have so many. You gotta have gags upon gags. I don't know if I could keep that up. Have I used screen tone? You mean like the old school rub-on stuff? And the answer to that would be yes. And I've used digital screen tones as well. Yeah, I've got a friend. I don't know if you guys saw the video I did where I interviewed people at Phoenix Comic Con. I was really happy with the way that one came out. So if you haven't seen that, check out that video because it's like I was happy with the way it all was edited and everything. And then I got to talk to some cool comic book creators. But my friend Eric, he just does like his own thing and like he creates his own screen tones and just does his own comic. He's been doing it for like 20 years, his own mini comic. So definitely check out that video because there's a bunch of cool creators and stuff in there. All right, we're getting close. It's just got to fill this in, and then I'm going to drop some stars in it, and then we'll probably call it a night. Of course, if I would have took out my big brush, I could have got this done a little faster, but I'm just kind of stick with one brush, I guess. Like, do I take the time to switch brushes or do I just go for it? Yeah, the oil, I don't know if it's the oil in my hand or there's a little bit of waxiness to the Colorase pencils. So sometimes the black doesn't lay down that good. And I think it's that waxiness, but if this was to be printed, it would all show up pretty black, so. Let me see. Let's see. So Charles says, instead of looking for a lot of freelance work to develop your own products and then leverage them to an audience. Yeah, I mean, that's, oh, okay. You say you think that's the future of indie comics. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I think that's what we're all trying to do. Like, Kevin Cross and Joshua Kimball. And I mean, we're all trying to just build that audience and so that there's people that would want to buy our stuff, and sometimes you just got to put a lot of time in it. Like, I mean, I did that whole 100 days of making comics where every single day, even with the day job, I put out a video every day. So, I mean, it's like, it's not easy. And, you really have to have a passion for it, and you kind of got to make the time, and there's no guarantees, there's no guarantees that all the time you put into this is going to like pay off. Like if I stopped and calculated the amount of time I put into all the stuff that I do and the amount of things that I'm able to sell, the products, I mean, it would just make me so depressed, because it just, the amount of time you put in based on, you know, and I just, you know, still you hope that at some point it'll start connecting and it'll grow and be big enough where it's all worthwhile. But it's like you see, you know, like if you look at like Holly Brown, who's, you know, we're going to have her on the Artcasters, and not this week, but I think the next week. I mean, her YouTube channel, I mean, I think she's got like 130 something thousand subscribers, but you have, and it kind of happened pretty quickly, but it's kind of like that, what they always say, that 5-year overnight success. I mean, if you look at everything, she was putting out videos all the time, you know, and you know, and then at some point it all connected, and then, you know, she had all those videos. So when people did go check out her stuff, she said, you know, they're like, oh man, she's got all these videos, and so it's definitely worth subscribing to her. So, you know, you gotta kind of put in the time and everything. And like I said, there's no guarantee that it'll happen, but you hope it will. You want to buy my comic? Well, my comics are available. They're on my, if you just go to my website, there's a store there, and you can go there. Oh, actually, yeah, I should have mentioned that. So, and I'll probably do a video, but I've got a bunch of new products on my store. I started selling t-shirts, so I've got t-shirts now, a bunch of new designs and stuff. So, and I'll probably do a video where I kind of show people, I don't know if it's going to be just how to make a really nice store, like tips on that, or selling t-shirts in general, but I will have a video that has to do with all that stuff. But you know, you don't need, you know, I'm not telling you to do this just to buy something, but just if you want, because I put a lot of, I'm pretty proud of my store because I put a lot of time into it. So if you want to see, you know, what I think is, you know, if I say so myself, a really nice store, you know, good descriptions, good photos, all that stuff, just check out, you know, use mine as a model. Now, and I'm not selling a bunch of stuff, but again, like I was saying before, I've laid the groundwork. So once I do, and I'm starting to sell more, especially on Etsy. I'm getting more sales on Etsy now, which is cool. But you know, I put a lot of work in that store, and you know, when people do find it, you know, it's, you know, it's nice, it's attractive, it's got, you know, it's got good descriptions, all, you know, all that stuff is done. So I've laid the groundwork. So, but you can go and kind of check out. And like I said, I'll do a video and talk about, you know, some things you can do to set up your store to make it nice and professional and everything. And it's not easy. It takes time. It took me a long time to get it. But once you get it set up and everything, then you know, because first when you're set, because I had a bunch of products, you know, so it took me forever to add all these products. But now when I make one new product, it's nothing to add that, you know, because all the rest of them are already up there and everything. So, but anyway, so I just switched my theme on my website, my store and everything, and did all that stuff. So, so you might want to check that out. But yeah, the comics are available there. So, as well as a bunch of other stuff, you know. And I just ordered some samples of the t-shirts I had made. So, so I definitely want to, you know, review those and everything. I'm anxious to get those. So, but all right, now I'm going to add some stars. It's not all. A lot of times this, so I'm using this, it's a white Sino Uniball gel pen. Now, a lot of times this needs a decent amount of time to dry, so I don't know if it'll work, you know, how well it'll work. Yeah, see, it's not. I don't know if this is going to work because you almost need to kind of let it sit. I'll try it the best I can, but sometimes I'll put in as many stars as I can, and then I'll go back later and kind of, because once it's totally dry, then it works a little better. And it's still really wet down here, so I don't know if that's going to work. But these are nice pens, these Sino pens. Yeah, as far as going to the conventions and you know, fan art, I mean, obviously, you know, that's what a lot of people are looking for. But I'm kind of in the same boat. So Charles Tofield says, I was always so confused by conventions. I never went there. Oh, I'm sorry. The chat's moving up as I'm trying to read it. I was never that person to go to conventions and buy fan art. That stuff was never my, sorry, it keeps moving up. It was never my thing. I was always, that has anything that doesn't, I'm sorry. If that has anything to do with me being an artist. Okay, yeah, sorry. And so that's one of the things, I mean, if I do get a lot of subscribers, it's gonna be really hard to read the chat because right now just moving a little bit. But, yeah, so the supervillain is sort of outer space. We kind of he evolved into like a space pirate. So so yeah, I just threw in this to kind of pop them out a little bit. I love doing this like sort of curvy crackle. Well, actually, I didn't put much crackle in it. It's just kind of a wavy thing, but I might just stop there. Who knows? I may go back and add more crackle. I don't know. I might have to do that just now. I wanted to wrap this up, but I'm gonna actually put some more crackling stuff in there. Yeah. Why is my 21,000 subscribers not watching my live stream? Yeah, I think the whole idea, the whole thing with subscribers, yeah, people subscribe to stuff and they probably don't, you know, because my views are nowhere near that. I'm lucky if I get like 100 views a video, so yeah, right now, so yeah. But really, views are more important than subscribers. But I mean, you need subscribers, but YouTube kind of they pay more attention to the views. All right, let's actually add some crackle stuff in here. And if you aren't familiar, Kirby Crackle is just this technique that Jack Kirby kind of, I don't know if he invented it or he just popularized it, but I don't know how to describe it other than it's kind of this cosmic dots and things like that, like I'm doing right here, but it's just got a really cool look to it. So I steal it all the time. But I always pay tribute to Jack Kirby because, like I said, I don't know if he invented it, but he definitely is the one that's known for it. But it's just a nice way to kind of and you know, I don't do the whole background, just like kind of a little wave here, and it's just a nice way to kind of pop out your foreground character and everything. Yeah, so creative artist says he or she, sorry, you know, tries to draw more realistic objects. Yeah, that's something I've never, I mean, I marvel at that stuff, but I'm just, realism isn't really my thing. It's, anytime I try to draw a portrait, it ends up looking like a caricature. So, but, you know, people that can do that, it's like, I don't know if you guys follow Jay Ferguson, but the airbrush artist. But man, his stuff is, he's like doing some new stuff too, where he's working watercolor into his airbrush. But man, when I look at his stuff, it just blows me away. He's so good at like capturing realism, and but it's also like that hyper realistic stuff. And then he'll, you know, especially with like the watercolor stuff that he's kind of integrating with his airbrush. It really it makes it, because sometimes you look at his stuff and it's like, is that a photograph? Because it's so real. But with now it's like some of the stuff that he's doing now, it's like, it looks very realistic, but it also, you could tell it's an illustration. It's just really cool stuff. So I don't know if it's, I'm trying to remember, is it Airheads with his, I'm trying to remember what his company name is or how you would find him on Instagram. I just follow him, but I don't remember his actual handle. All right, so there we go. I'm going to sign this thing, and then we're probably going to call it a night. But I will be back probably Wednesday for the Artcasters. I think it's going to be on Josh's channel. All right, so let's see. All right, there we go. If you guys any last things to say in the chat, let me know. And other than that, I'm probably going to see you guys later. Thanks everyone for the suggestions. I think it turned out pretty good. Nice little space pirate. And we'll probably, like I said, what we'll probably do, I'll probably just contribute this to the Kickstarter for Life in Space, which is the anthology that I did a pinup for, and a lot of people did, comic pages for and everything. Some of you guys in the chat are contributors. So once that goes, then yeah, if they do still want to do like original artwork as stretch goals or something like that, then this can be one of those. Or I've got some other stuff that I can throw in there too. So anyway, thanks again for the suggestions, and I'm going to keep trying to hone these live streams and make them better and everything, and hopefully, try to keep the conversation going. I did this whole thing without taking a drink, and I have a drink right by me, and I don't know why. But anyway, I'm trying to get better at doing this, and yeah, so there will be more of these because I like doing them. I just got to find the time. There's no set schedule for them yet. But I really, I appreciate everyone in the chat. The chat was hopping, a lot of new people in there, and some of my old friends are in there too. So that's great. Anyway, so thanks again, and hold on a second. Oh yeah, and what I'll do is I will copy the chat and I will paste it into the comment section, and I'll read through it, and then I'll check out some of you guys' Instagrams and YouTube pages and all that kind of stuff. So, or just, I was going to say leave a comment with that information, but sometimes you can't put links in YouTube because it'll flag it as spam. I mean, I usually go through my spam folder and check and see if it's actual things. So if you want to do that, you can do that. If you leave your YouTube or Instagram in the chat, just leave a link, and I'll try to remember to go through the spam and pick those out there too. So anyway, thanks again. I'll see all you guys later, hopefully on another live stream, and that is all.